Hello, 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 and welcome to the Particles, Plants and Patients podcast. My name is Rachel, and I'm a mechanical engineer, and I'm here with Tesney.
Hello, I'm Tesney. I run my own plant shop here in North Wales.
And Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and I live in Manchester.
And today we're going to talk about whatever we want.
We're a little bit drunken.
Yeah.
I love the background, by the way, before we start, Tesney. Love the
I
background.
thought I'd just manifest my favourite club in the world, Eva, in Manchester on Canal Street. So I'm in Eva
Bringing back
right
the
now.
memes right now.
Yeah, I'm at the bar. I'm just about to touch that sticky bar, you know. Getting those 40 shots in.
Tray of 40 shots, perfect.
Woohoo! Oh, I can't wait. Yeah.
So this episode, we're going a little bit off track. We've had a few beveraginos each.
Beveraginos.
And so we've kind of just decided, let's pick some really random facts and discuss them. What do we think? We might even just start talking about whatever we want, because this is our podcast and
That's
we're
a
allowed
real
to do
risk.
I'm really sorry if it's so rubbish, everyone. We'll get back to normal next week.
Yeah.
We were meant to be doing the stupid place names of Britain or something, but we've all had a pretty stressful week and we didn't end up recording the podcast we wanted to be recording. So we thought we'd have a bev instead.
Yeah. We
Like
thought
any
we'd kill
adult
two birds
does.
with one stone and get drunk
Yeah.
and do this at the same time.
I think any time an adult slightly gets stressed, they just have a bev. So that's what we're doing.
Yes.
We're apparently adults.
We're definitely adults, but don't feel like it ever.
I don't think I am.
I
Actually.
don't think I should be allowed to have the liberties adults have, because I don't know how to look after myself.
I run my own plant shop, but I don't consider myself an adult.
So I have some facts that we can discuss. I've just literally Googled random weird facts, and these are what I got. So prepare to be amazed. This is one that I've got. Which one am I going to go for first? Here's one, and this is for anyone. I was going to say this would be good if we were in uni. We're not in uni anymore.
No,
So
no,
for
we're
anyone
not.
that's written anything on the internet ever, this one is: even the man who created Comic Sans has only ever used it once. So everyone hates Comic Sans. I feel like that's a very well-known fact. Comic Sans is a disgusting font. It tends to be used a lot in like schools and stuff. But the fact is, Comic Sans is the classic cute, light-hearted, informal, good for a child's birthday party invitation font. But it also comes across as immature and unprofessional, and has been called the world's most hated font. Comic Sans was designed by Vincent Conner in 1995, and even he is not a fan. He said, "I've only ever used Comic Sans once because I was having trouble changing my broadband to Sky, so I wrote them a letter in Comic Sans saying how disappointed I was. I got a £10 refund and it was worth it."
If you write anything to me in Comic Sans, I immediately disregard what you're saying and probably will never speak to you again. It's just such an awful font. It's just awful. Why would you ever write anything in Comic Sans? It hurts my eyes to read it.
Yeah.
Is it Comic Sans? No, this might be a lie. But there's some type of font that is the best for dyslexic people to read.
There is a dyslexic-friendly font, so it's not.
No,
Comic
there's
Sans
one
is
of
probably good, but there's
It's one of the normal
font.
fonts which should be used for dyslexic people because it's like the easiest to read and distinguish between each of the letters. I can't remember which one it is though.
Which I hope it's not Comic Sans because I hate Comic Sans.
It might be because it's like so.
But didn't like everybody go through that phase at school when you were younger and you thought Comic Sans was the bee's knees? It was like when you used the word art in Word, and that was like the best. If you had like your title in word art, it was the best.
You know the
Word
font
art.
Arial? Is it called Arial?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the girls I know, her grandma made Arial.
Arial is
That's
my favourite
cool.
font.
I was going to say,
When she told me, I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool! That's actually really cool." And she was like, "Oh, is it really?" I was like, "Yeah, that's
Arial's
so cool."
Arial's like friendly, but also I mean
It's the one I always use. Like, you know, it's just chill. It's just there. It's getting to the point. It's fine.
If I'm
Not
going to
too
write
fancy.
anything, it's going to be an Arial. Is it
Yeah.
sad to have a favourite font?
Maybe, I don't know, but
It
I
depends
do.
how much you write, because I think Calibri body is a lovely standard sort of, that's what every document now starts with. If you start writing on Word, it's Calibri. But also, no idea if that's the correct pronunciation before someone comes for me.
I don't think anyone does know.
Yeah, I've decided it's
Calibri.
Calibri. Yeah, if it's Calibri, oops. But also, Arial's so lovely, and I used to work for the government in a position, and they use Arial for everything because apparently it is a sort of friendly but professional. It's kind of bridges those two things.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that it builds a trust. Like, you see something in Comic Sans and you're like, what the hell? You see something in Arial, you're like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. So my claim to fame is I know the girl whose grandma made Arial.
I know I am a little bit of a nerd, but that is pretty
I thought it was cool.
That is
very
really cool.
Yeah. And maybe she'll listen to this and be like, oh, that's me.
I mean, is this us proving here that we're not students anymore and we're actual adults because we not only have favourite fonts, but that is what we're excited about?
I think that kind of thing starts when you're a student, though.
Yeah.
When you've written your really long essay, maybe it's in the last year of if you've gone to uni in your last year of undergrad, you've written your big end of year thing, dissertation, and you're like, what's this going to look good in? Some unis say it's got to be in this, and it's got to be that size,
It's got to be double spaced and
and I'm pretty sure I didn't follow any of the guidelines. I'm really bad. Like, this little bit of a skew, but I'm really bad for not following any of the guidance I'm ever given in terms of like exams so I'm pretty sure MMU that we all went to requested or said you should, if you can, use New Times Roman in size 11 or size 12, I think. If you can, with
and if you did it any bigger, then it was going to look shit, basically.
But I didn't care because I was like, I want something to look good, so I think I used Calibri. Anyway, also the exams. So the exams, when you sit an exam, especially the uni ones, which feel maybe a bit more important, or to me did, they'd always be like, and I found this out at the end of an exam. So I'd sat my whole exam, written all my questions, question 1, underlined it when I'd finished it, question 2, and then at the end of it I was like reading through the front of the book again that you wrote your answers in, and it was like, every time you start a new question you have to start it on a new page. I was like, well, I've just failed my degree. Like, I literally did question 1, answered it, and then straight away started question 2, and I genuinely thought that was going to end my career.
Yeah, could you imagine if they were like, these are the best answers I've ever seen, but she didn't like start a new page for question 2, so do you know what, fail, that's the end.
I would leave like, at least if I wrote an answer to a question, I'd leave like at least 2 pages before I did the next one in case I wanted to add more. Like, I just had to.
You go back and you're like, I have an epiphany on what that answer to that question should be.
And then, like, I don't know if you're allowed to do it in your degrees, but you were allowed to, I don't know if it was allowed, but a lot of people did. You would put like a star in one and like put it halfway through the essay and, like, what you'd want to add more into. So maybe I'd like do 2 whole pages of that.
Maybe we should say what degrees we actually studied. As a mechanical engineer, obviously mechanical engineering, but your degree I think makes more sense with you saying you need to leave 2 pages. So I run a plant shop now, but I did social history as my undergrad, and public history as my masters, halfway through my masters, not finishing it because I don't like uni.
Wait, hang on, I didn't even know you were not finishing your masters until right at this moment.
No, it's not decided. I'm just going to defer for another year because I don't agree with universities right now.
That's a good plan.
They are money grabbers.
Yeah, I think during the pandemic...
You'd not get much of an experience anyway, I don't feel.
No, I would not be joining uni now until November.
And you wanted to do placement-y stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, and they weren't pushing that because it was too difficult to do because we're in a pandemic. And they weren't going to have a dyslexic student because they just want my money. But we won't go into that too much. Because,
Wow, it's got political.
Let's surface level the money-grabbing unis for now.
Yeah, money-grabbing unis. They're just locking students into their halls because of COVID,
Anyway, Elliot, what degree did you study?
I did microbiology and molecular biology, which you know, I changed my degree from civil engineering on results day.
Oh my god, I've talked about that day quite a few times, and about how we've all ended up at MMU. Like, we weren't all meant to end up at MMU. I was the only one who actually picked it, and you two, like, you, Rachel, it was your second choice, and Elliot, you went, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go to MMU and do microbiology, because that's what I actually want to do.
I had looked at that course about 2 days before results day and thought, I'll see what I do in biology in A-levels, and we'll make the decision there and then.
Because when I tell people that we didn't actually all mean to go to MMU, like, it was not planned in any single way, people just don't believe us. It was
not even slightly planned. Like, I wanted to go to Uni of Manchester, but fluked my A-levels. Elliot, you were going to Cardiff, right?
Yeah, I was going to Cardiff.
They said you had to do a foundation year. Yeah. And you were like, absolutely not. Let's go to MMU. I was like, I want to go to MMU because they were my insurance. And Uni of Man were like, you've got to do a foundation, I think. I'm pretty sure they offered me that. But I was like,
that's even surprising.
Not an extra year of university. Can't be doing that.
I've got to pay for that. Like, that's some more debt. I don't want that.
But do you know what? Looking back on it, the people who I know have done foundation years got a lot out of them.
Yeah, no, I do know a lot as well.
Like, they learned how to do uni while it not mattering, but not counting as much.
Yeah,
they knew how to really write like, for history people, they knew how to write an essay. They knew how to do those references, and I should have probably done the foundation really.
However, it's too late now. As we've discussed this evening before coming on this, Rachel's really old now, so there's no going back.
I am old. Like, I'm nearly 23 and a half, which is not old, but like, as somebody
like
who
28 would be really
themselves
old.
In sixth form mentally.
Yeah, I'm literally mentally, we all didn't mean to go to MMU, and somehow ended up there.
Somehow we've ended up from Comic Sans to why we went to uni.
But I think that's a really interesting story, because, like, how weird is it that 3 people who went to school together and were, you know, good friends, and then
I wouldn't say good.
Yeah,
and well, maybe for some of us, not the bestest of friends straight away, but then, you know, we became friends over the course of sixth form, and then we were like, okay, see ya. You know, we all picked on UCAS. We were not going to be anywhere near each other. Well, maybe me and Tez, but that was about it. You know, maybe across the road, and then it went from that to no, we are in the same uni, and then with me and Elliot, we were in the same accommodation, and then in second year, the same flat. So
I was very firm on the fact that I didn't. It probably looked rude at the time, but I was very firm. I remember being in V-Fest and me having to choose my accommodation, and I was like, I'm really sorry, Rachel and Chanel, I'm not choosing your accommodation. I'm going somewhere completely different, just because I wanted that experience with other people. Yeah. And obviously, still being close friends with you, I just wanted, like, a different...
Yeah, and I think it worked out well in the end, because...
Yeah, 100%. It was, like, rocky the first couple of months, but then you obviously realise that it's not the end all of everything. If you're not in the same accommodation, it doesn't matter.
And I think the thing as well was, we all had that same view. We all thought we need to kind of go our separate ways in uni, but obviously still be together, like, as a support thing. But because MMU was my insurance, and because MMU was was it clearing for you, Elliot? Is that how you applied? Yeah. We had very, very limited accommodation, and I'm pretty sure the only reason we picked New Medlock is it was the cheapest option. And so it wasn't like we went, oh, let's go to New Medlock so we're together. It was New Medlock is the cheapest, and it's still a private accommodation, so it was still ridiculously expensive.
I had 2 criteria. It was to live nearish uni and to have my own bathroom. It needed to tick those 2 boxes. Yeah, like,
I didn't have my own bathroom I was in Burley in the townhouses. I was sharing it with one other person, and it wasn't even that bad. Like, the Burley houses were massive, and obviously we've all heard my stories. They weren't the best, but the bathroom situation wasn't even bad at all.
All I remember about your bathroom is that it was always like so hot.
Oh yeah, I fainted
Boiling.
like several times. Like if the podcast doesn't know, I faint with anything anyway. But because it was so warm in there was no ventilation, I would just go for a shower and then faint because it was so hot in there.
It was unbelievably like if I was coming around for like an evening to drink, you know, before like maybe pre-drinks before going out, I'd go to use the toilet and I'd be like, I would come out and I'd be like, it's like I've just been in a sauna, but like even hotter. It was unbelievable.
But like, I think it was fair that because in my house there was like obviously the ground floor with no bedrooms, it was just a kitchen and the living room. Next floor up, 4 bedrooms, next floor up, 4 bedrooms, and then 4 bedrooms on top. But like the further up you went with the bathroom, the hotter they'd get. So we'd end up just going to Erin's bathroom because she was on the first floor. Wasn't that bad. And then as you get to mine, it was like roasting. And then I think you'd die on the top floor.
It was the same with New Medlock.
Yeah, they were connected.
They all the whole ventilation system, and I don't know if it's normal. I'm not a civil engineer, but like the whole of the ventilation system was connected. So, fun story.
God, I hate this story.
Second year of uni, the flat above all of ours. So the whole flat. So the flats were in So the whole flats were in sections, and the flat above ours went on fire, but. Because the fire alarm used to go off constantly, all the time, because people like burnt toast or whatever, we were just like, oh, for God's sakes, this is like the 10th time this, you know.
You need to give the backstory.
You need to give the backstory of what we were doing.
I'm getting there. Yeah. So you know, this alarm used to go off constantly, so we just had learnt to ignore it, which is really bad, but like if it's going off constantly and it's a fake, you know, false alarm, I don't care. Anyway, we were going to go out and we were having some really good prees, the tunes were banging, which is like, having a really fun time, and the fire alarm starts going off and we're like, oh, for God's, we can't, you know, it was like 9 p.m. we were just like, this is ridiculous, we're not getting out. So we just turned the music up over the alarm. And we were just boogieing a lot. Yeah, please don't do this. We were just dancing along to the fire alarm and the music. Next thing we know, there's someone banging on our door, like absolutely trying to break it down almost, and we open the door and we're like, hello, it's the fire marshal, and they're like, the flat above you is on fire,
literally on fire,
fully on fire. And so we left. There was about 3 fire engines outside by the time we got outside. Anyway, when we saw the pictures, because there was a big group chat for the whole of the accommodation, it was genuinely just completely black.
It was gutted, yeah.
And the reason why I brought up the ventilation system is because the fire started in the room above mine, the soot of the fire would come down in the ventilation system, and because we were right next to Mancunian Way, which is the big road that goes through Manchester, kind of the ring road around Manchester for people that don't know, if a car went past, specifically a big lorry, it would vibrate the room so much that just soot would start falling down, because it was just
like an anticlimactic Christmas, like Santa.
Oh my God, do you remember when that was happening? The alarm was going beep, 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 and we'd be going beep, beep, beep.
We were just like voguing to the fire alarm.
Looking back on that, oh my God.
I remember walking to Canal Street and us going, well, we might not end up back at an accommodation, but you can come stay at mine.
I remember disappearing around that corner and seeing the fire engines, like 4 or 5 of them pull up, and being like, oh my God, we might
not end up back there.
This best be a good night.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah. Well, I think what we need to say there, though, is learn from our mistakes, everybody, and don't do that.
It wasn't even a mistake.
If the fire alarm goes off, even if it's a false alarm, it's better if you just get out of the...
not even get out. Just look out the window to see if everyone else is getting out, and if they are...
Look out the window and look at the smoke.
Yeah. Like, you don't need to completely get out straight away.
No, you do. If the fire alarm is going off, you should get out of the accommodation regardless of why it's going off.
But you know, yeah. If you've been a student, just look out the window.
No. I'm not condoning. Just look
You condone voguing to the fire alarm as it's going off.
Stupid and 20 years old.
It's fun.
Always be youthful
if
again.
the fire alarm goes off, I know it's really irritating, but you don't know if the flat above you is on fire until the fire marshal turns up.
Yeah, please leave if the fire alarm goes off. We're not responsible for your actions.
My point of view in anything is, if we didn't die, it's fine. It's good time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's good time, Elliot. Come on.
It was a good time. I've never sobered up faster than when I saw those fire engines and the fire.
And then we go to
billowing out of the window.
Funny. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I've got another fact. Yeah. Oh no, Elliot, go on if you've got something.
I remember putting the key in the door that night after coming home and be like, there might be nothing here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I wasn't sure if we could even get into our accommodation.
I was in a different place, so it doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
I've got another fact now.
Yeah.
So, I've kind of tried to phrase this as a question, but the fact is, a cornflake in the shape of Illinois sold on eBay for $1,350. And my question to you is...
Why?
No, I mean, why is a good question, but like, is there any, this is such a random question, is there any shape a cornflake could fall into that you would genuinely bid on it?
Maybe like a monstera leaf.
The Botanical Babe logo.
Yeah, like my logo. Like, I probably would bid on that, maybe. I don't know,
Imagine
Botanical
the
Babe.
freak of nature that would have to happen for the Botanical Babe with the words to form as a cornflake.
Yeah, like, I think that's the only logo I'd be bidding on. No, the shape I'd be bidding on.
Maybe if it was my face, I'd be like, wow, that's me, I've got to have that. I don't know what...
I think I would bid on one. I know I'd be outbidded, but I would bid on one that was the shape of the Welsh dragon.
Would you really? Like, what? Like, my question is, why?
Not 1,350.
But, like, why would you even bid £2 on that? Like, why do you need that?
Tweet it, obviously.
But, I don't physically understand why. Why
you said you'd bid on one for Botanical Babe.
No, I wouldn't really. Like, if it was Botanical Babe, like if it was actually Botanical Babe and my logo, obviously I'd bid on it because it would like be 1 in a million chance. But like the Welsh dragon, like
okay, if you don't like
wow,
that, I was just answering my own question.
I'm just saying, like, why?
Because I like being Welsh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love being Welsh as well. I'm
I was about to say, like...
It does sound like you are like... You're going to turn around and say, I think the Welsh language is ridiculous.
No, I want to learn Welsh. I want to be more Welsh than I am right now. But, like, I just don't know why...
Why would you not bid on a cornflake that's the Welsh dragon? Then?
Why would you? Like, literally, why would you?
That look like Wales.
I'm saying... So, my question was, is there anything that you would bid on if it was the shape of something? Like, the only thing I can consider that I would bid on is the Welsh flag.
Yeah, I'm still saying why.
Because there's nothing else I would bid on.
Okay.
If there was anything, I would not bid on anything else.
I mean, the chances of this happening are very slim.
Yeah.
Am I going to make a cornflake in the shape of the Welsh dragon?
Am I going to get scammed now? Someone's going to send me to a Welsh dragon cornflake.
And then you're gonna have to bid $2,000 on it on night out.
There's like eBay page at the moment where it's just like odd shaped cornflakes going once, going twice.
I wouldn't even know how to store it. How do you store a cornflake?
Yeah, like
not
what?
With milk.
Like, if you bid on a Welsh dragon cornflake and you got it in the post and it was crushed up to pieces, like what would you do?
You'd have to hire a private courier.
PayPal, you can get a refund for literally anything.
Literally anything, yeah.
Yeah, just
tell me about that.
Yeah, I would just make sure I paid through PayPal, and then I would just get a refund on my Welsh Dragon cornflake.
I remember selling a plant on Depop, and it was like a string of pearls with roots. And like the person who brought it, I sent it to them, didn't think it had enough roots, even though I sent the picture on Depop of the roots. And they made a dispute on PayPal that it didn't have enough roots. Obviously, I wasn't going to win it because I had no I had nothing
But
to
what
show.
sorry, but what defines not enough roots? I'm sorry.
Yeah, literally, she just like put a claim with PayPal and went, "There's not enough roots on that. Give me my money back." And I was
I
like,
think something interesting.
PayPal will give you anything back.
"Yeah, literally."
What
Sorry,
about the guy who? So you know the PlayStation 5 came out and it was like hot product or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were really hard to get hold of. So somebody put on eBay picture of PlayStation 5, and then in the description said you will receive one photograph of a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
This is not an actual PlayStation 5. This is just a photograph. Do not expect an actual one. Did they do a bad thing?
Morally, yes. Legally, no.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, it's a really hard.
eBay is like cracked down on that because so many people are doing it.
But really, he's not done any. He's not missold anything, has he?
No.
Morally, it's very bad. But
It's just, it's moral.
as long as he sends you that image, he's not done anything wrong.
Yeah, like you're
He's smart.
you're a piece of shit. Gonna need a bleep there, Rachel. But
The sass on that.
Quack!
quack. I'm gonna quack it. But also, legally, like it's one of those things where I'm like, you're such a bad person, but also you're really clever because you have said it's a picture of a PS5. So you are going to catch people out that are just a bit
In a
silly.
rush or
a bit not really,
A little bit silly.
like if you think you can find a PS5 for like £100 and you bid on it, that's your fault. You should, if a deal is too good to be true, it's because it is.
Yeah. Harsh life
Well done,
lesson,
Rach.
that. Yeah.
I've learnt that fact. I remember I bought
Rachel was
something...
buying the PS5.
Yeah, I had a picture of a PS5 here. No, it was I remember once. Oh my god! Remember when Wish was like such a massive thing?
Oh
like,
god.
What did
Wish.
you buy? We used to have a chat about Wish and then the stupid products.
I can't remember what the name of the chat was, but yeah, we literally had a chat that was all about crap Wish tried to sell you and gave it like a name. But yeah, I saw this thing on Wish that was like, here's a massive panda plush. Massive. Like this person was like, whoa, this is huge. And then, so I thought, oh, I'll buy that because it's like £2. Duh. Obviously, it's not.
Oh my god!
Like, you know, when you just consider, actually, maybe I should just put my brain on mode, and yeah. And then when it turned up, eventually, and it genuinely turned up about 3 months later, it was literally about this big, like about the size. I can't even think of something that's that small. It was so small. It was a key ring. It was like a key ring version of a panda thing. And I was like, how tiny is this person that was in the picture of this panda?
That's what's brilliant about Wish. When you would you order something and it would take, you could be waiting like 6 months for it to arrive, and then you'll have completely forgotten about it and be like, oh, what's that? What have I received from Wish?
I remember ordering this.
You're waiting for that extra person to buy it so they could buy like an entire container of it.
Yes, I remember that when it was like, oh, so and so from Bournemouth's buying this at the moment. Do you want to buy it with them? And it's only like 50p. And I'm like, oh, go on.
Yeah, sold.
If it is Sheen, is it called Sheen?
Shane.
Yeah. They have. I talk to Rachel about this all the time, but they have so many cool freaking clothes on there that I want to buy. But I know when I purchase them, they arrive at my door, they're not going to look like that, and I get really upset because they're probably copied from small businesses. I just want to know what the small business is so I can buy it properly from them.
Yeah.
Actually, there's this one chicken bag. It's a bag.
Yes, I know the exact one.
And I know when I buy it from them, it's not going to be the same. But I want it so bad. Like, I can't describe how bad I want this chicken bag. I showed it to my mum, and she was like, Tesney, just no, don't.
If it's from the company Romway, it's going to turn up and it's going to look exactly like what it describes it as. They're actually a genuinely decent
I want it
company.
So bad. It's only like a $5.
Yeah, Romway are actually really good.
Yeah, but I don't want to be spending. I've not spent any money on fast fashion this year, and I don't want to. So
well, why don't you give up things for Len? Why don't you just Start that.
If someone else buys me it and I give them the money, then maybe I can.
Wow. Circumvent that one, right?
I really just want this chicken bag. Oh, I'm gonna have to show you a picture, Elliot, because it's so good. I don't even know if it's cool. I just think it's.
No, it is.
I think we need to show everybody a
I've seen
picture
it on
of this chicken
Facebook,
bag.
Yeah, I'll have to find you a picture. It's just like imagine a bag and it's got like a stuffed chicken.
Your fast fashion like pledge.
Yeah, like honestly, I've not been buying anything fast fashion for months, so I don't want to break it for a chicken bag.
What a thing to break it for.
But I just can't find the small business that makes it.
Have you done a reverse image search on Google, mate?
I've searched everywhere, and there's not one. It's only that company.
Oh.
Backled me.
You poor thing.
I know, I'm really upset. But Clandidno does not need to be seeing. Clandidno.
Clandidno, did you just say?
Wherever I am, doesn't need to be seeing that chicken bag.
I'm taking your Welsh card away, Tez, if that's what you're going to say.
You just pronounced Clandidno.
Landudno.
Oh dear.
Landudno.
Just gonna block you now.
Yeah, block me. I live here. I work here. I work 2 jobs in this town.
This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
Rach, what's your... Oh my god, we only have 7 minutes left. I told you...
How has that gone so fast?
I literally
it's the power
told you.
of alcohol.
I literally told you 40 minutes not be long enough, and we wasted 10 minutes talking rubbish.
It was not 10 minutes. It was literally me saying turn on originals. No, we're not having this conversation. Anyway, here's another one before we have our last, because I'm going to wait until there's about 3 minutes and then do the outro. Yeah. Where do you think the inventor of Pringles is buried?
In a Pringle tube.
Elliot?
Hey, maybe under a moor because they're pretty moorish.
No. So, Tez, you are spot on. The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can.
I love that.
So, he communicated his burial wishes to his family, and when he died at the age of 89, his children stopped at a Walgreens in America on the way to the funeral home to buy his burial Pringles can.
Which flavour?
They did, yeah, that's literally what I was. They had a decision to make, and they said, look, we have to use original. So he's buried in an original like the original, the first ever flavour of Pringles. Yeah.
There were so many better flavours that he could have picked.
Yeah, but if that's the first thing he came out with, I can kind of understand that.
Yeah. Sorry, whose phone
was the original?
Sorry, that was me probably.
Yeah. He interrupted.
Yeah. I knew that already. Thanks for that rubbish fact.
I have another rubbish fact.
Go on then, please. Thank you.
A quick one. We've only got 5 minutes.
No, it's fine.
We're fine. I've got the countdown. A fortune cookie company once foretold the lottery, which resulted in 110 winners. So, a company, fortune. Sometimes you can get in fortune cookies, like the numbers. And anyway, they actually accidentally got the right numbers, and 110 people won. And each winner took home it was in America. They took home between $100,000 and $500,000, depending on how much they bet. So it's a bit different. Like you put money into the lottery.
Bet?
Yeah. So you go like, I'll bet a $5 that it's
really?
those numbers. It's like a bit more of a gamble as opposed to a. That's why in the UK it's a bit weird that you can do the lottery when you're 16, even though you're not allowed to gamble until you're 18.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's not considered actual gambling here, but in America it would be gambling.
Yeah, I just love a fortune cookie. I could literally live off those.
Really?
They're so yummy.
They're so moorish.
I can't even think of the last time I had one.
Yeah, you have to always ask for them, which is really annoying.
Yeah,
they used to be something that, like, when you ordered Chinese, they just got added in. And now it's like, oh no, I've got to pay 50p for my fortune cookie.
Yeah. You're making me pay for my future.
Yeah.
It's like university.
Pay for my future.
Fun times.
Yeah. My last thing, which is the coffin. So we had this thing, to the listeners, which was we were going to do a whole episode on coffee. Apparently, I said I wanted to do a whole episode on coffee. I do not remember saying this, but it has to be me.
God, Rachel will shut up about the bloody coffee episode. I loved it.
No, I don't love the coffee. I don't remember even mentioning it, but I have mentioned that I want to talk about coffee. I do not have a coffee fact right now. I am not going to bless your ears with a coffee fact because I'm pretty sure there's not many. There might be an interesting one, but I have not found it. So, personal experience. Yesterday, went for a wander, went into Tesco's, and I've got those coffee bags that tailors do. Oh my God.
Have they been?
They're a bit rubbish, I think. They're a bit too expensive, but they are.
So, yes, if you compare them to sort of a cafetiere coffee,
I love
they're not that good. However, if you compare them to an instant coffee, they are incredibly yummy.
Yeah.
So, I would, if you were an instant coffee drinker and you want to kind of spice up your life, like the Spice Girls, definitely get some coffee bags. But also, if you want an instant coffee drinker and you actually want to have some nice coffee, get a cafetiere, just a little sort of...
Honestly, I have a one-person cafetiere and it's the easiest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's no fuss. Just do it. It's
coffee bags coffee bags are a fad. Cafetieres are the way to go. Cafetieres and grounds.
Easy. And I use it every day. It's brilliant. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to say one thing. Podcast, we're going to do a poll on our Instagram for fruit, pets, or what was the other stupid topic that we
It was fruit, pets, or coffee. Thank you very much.
Right, okay. You, Instagram, you can pick fruits, pets, or coffee for which one you want us to talk about, because these keep coming up in our conversations about our topics, and these sound rubbish to us, but I think we can make them work if you pick them. Yeah. So we'll put that poll up when we put this podcast live.
Yes.
For you. So please pick one. It might be a bit rubbish, but who knows? I'll have a Bev.
Anyone else got anything else to say? We've got 1 minute 40, so...
No.
Okay. So, thank you for listening, everyone. Next week, we're going to talk about something else. We have not decided yet. It will be decided by the poll, so get voting on our Instagram. Yeah. We also have a YouTube channel, so if you check that out, that's where we show our lovely faces having this conversation. And we also have social media. Our Instagram is at particlesplantsandpatients. Our Twitter is at the 3P podcast, number 3. Letter P. You can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at it's spelt Rachel, AEL at the end. Tesney, where can they find you?
Mainly Instagram. My Instagram is botanical_babe with 2 E's, and then on Twitter is Tesney_Baugen. I think that's my last name.
I think that's your last name as well. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Elliot, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at ElliotGriffiths98 and on Twitter at ElliotGriff98.
I don't think Elliot knows his last name either.
No, I don't. No.
No one knows their last names. Is there anything else I've missed before we sign off?
No, I think that
just watch us on every platform so we get views up.
Yeah, watch us on...
I think not even watch us, but if you do like our podcast and you want to support us, just share it with your friends. Just tell your friends about our podcast, because that's going to be the most meaningful thing for you to show our podcast to other people.
And if you can, please rate us where you've listened to us, if that's an option. That also helps because it kind of spreads the podcast and lets people listen to us if they want to listen. I think that's everything. So see you next one, everyone. Bye.
We won't be drunk next time, promise.
I can't promise anything.
Well,
I'll probably still be hungover.
To be honest. I will just be drunk.
Bye.
Bye.